Okay, let me show you something really, really cool. This is inspired by a great magician by the name of Al Baker. I changed it, made it a little bit easier because that's what I need. And hopefully you'll enjoy it too. But it's a great trick. Some props involved, deck of cards, pens and papers, and a nice little wine glass or whatever you want to use for a container here. We're going to take a deck of cards. In fact, the spectators can actually shuffle the card. A spectator can shuffle the cards if you want to, or you can do it. Point is, it needs to be a mixed up deck. And what we're going to do before the trick even begins, I tell my spectators, I'm going to make a prediction, and I'm going to write on a little piece of paper here. Here we go. And we'll just even crinkle it up and put it in the glass. So I can't get to it. I can't change my mind. Little prediction inside the wine glass, right? And what I'm going to have, we need a couple spectators for this, by the way. We're going to have the first spectator just select a card from the deck as I ribbon spread like this. I want them to just take one, any one that they want. They can touch the back of a card. Don't show it to me. In fact, you don't even need to look at it if you don't want to. You can have them look at it or not. Let's say they take this one. Okay, so they're going to take that card. Now, I've already made a prediction, so I'm committed. So hopefully I predicted the right card. And then we'll just keep that right there and put your hand on it or take a look at it if you want to. Just don't let me see it. And then we need another spectator to join us here. And I'm going to need to make a prediction for you too. So let's do that. So let me take another little piece of paper and I'm going to write down something that I think will matter to you. Crinkle this up. Again, I've got two predictions I've committed because they're trapped inside the wine glass. We don't need this anymore. Now, your turn to select a card. Let's do this a little bit differently. What I'm going to do with you is I'm going to shuffle the deck up like this, and I'm going to have you tell me when to stop shuffling, okay? So we're going to go like this, and you just say stop shuffling anytime you want me to stop shuffling. And once you feel like the cards are really mixed up, and they'll say stop. Okay, so the cards are mixed up, but you haven't selected one yet, so we're going to do that too. I'm going to shuffle again. This time when you say stop, where you stop me will be the card that you select. Hopefully, it will be the one I predicted. Okay, so I'm going to go like this. You say stop at some point. They'll say stop. Okay, let me give you, you want the top or you want the bottom? The top or bottom? You want the bottom? Okay, I'm going to have you take a look at this card. And we'll put it down on the table right there. And we'll get rid of the cards. So now, you both selected cards. You've got cards here, freely selected. But what's important about these freely selected cards is before you selected them, I made predictions. Right here. Wouldn't it be amazing if they matched? Let's see what they say. This one is in fact a prediction that says, you can't see it very well on the camera, but it does say AC as an ace of clubs. This one I wrote down is a, should use better ink, but you can see it on the camera like this. That is a JS, which means Jack of Spades. Ace of Clubs, Jack of Spades is what I predicted. It's what you chose. That's the a version, an inspiration of an Al Baker trick that's really, really great. I made it simpler for me to do because I'm a simple person and I need it to be easier. And now I'm going to show you how to do it. It's really, really cool. But I cheated, okay? I'm going to tell you right now. You can do this. I think the Al Baker way is to do this with a regular deck of cards. Imagine that. I didn't because I wanted this to be really easy. So this uses a couple methods. Mine uses a marked deck. But you'll notice I made the predictions before people selected their cards. That's really important. I made a prediction very first thing. So that kind of takes the heat off the deck. But I did use a marked deck. And I also used the Al Baker's principle, which is really another way of saying being one ahead. That's why you make two predictions, so you can be one ahead. Here's what I mean. Let's try it again. We got some pieces of paper and a pen, a little wine glass, and a fully shuffled deck. Now, the reason why I can use a fully shuffled deck, and this is why I like using a marked deck, because it can be completely shuffled. And the spectators can shuffle them all they want. I don't care how the cards end up. I'm going to be right. And you'll notice before the trick even began, we stopped right here. I made my prediction. Didn't look at anything. Well, so it seems. I actually did. I looked at the top card. And since it's marked, I don't have to turn anything over. I know the top card on the deck is currently the 7 of clubs. It can be anything, right? So let's say they shuffled it. They mixed it up. The trick will start once they're done shuffling or once we're done shuffling or cut it, whatever. Okay, now the trick starts. Now I can make my prediction. My prediction this is called the one ahead principle, is going to be that card, which I can see as the Jack of Diamonds, okay? Because that's what the top card is. So I write my JD in here, Jack Diamond, crinkle it up, throw it in here, mix them up, okay? Now, I already know that somebody's going to pick a Jack of Diamonds at some point. It's just not going to be that first spectator. I'm saving that Jack of Diamonds for the second spectator. That's why this is called one ahead. And since this is a marked deck, the next part's even easier. I'm going to spread the deck. I'm going to say, now I want you to pick a card. Hopefully the card you choose matches my prediction. I want to make it look like I've predicted a card and this is the card we've predicted. But it's not. This is going to be whatever it's going to be. I don't know yet, right? So I've got my Jack of Diamonds in there. But they think I've made a prediction of this card. Now, this person selects a card, and because I'm working with the kind of deck that I am, I just now got my next prediction, didn't I? I just looked at that. It's a marked deck, so I've got a 10 of spades right there. They don't know that. They don't know that I know that. And I'm going to say, okay, so now, recap. I predicted a card. You chose a card. Hopefully they match. Let's do it again with this person. Now, what I'm thinking is 10 of spades, right? They don't know that. What have I got here? I've got to write down a 10 of spades, which is what they actually have here. I've already written down a Jack of Diamonds, which is still on the top of the deck, one ahead. So now I'm going to go pretend like I'm predicting their card, and I'm actually going to write down 10 of spades, wrinkle it up, put it in here, clean up the play area here a little bit. I go, okay, now I've just made another prediction. Hopefully my prediction matches the card you chose. And now all I have to do is whatever force I want to do, because the card that I want them to pick is the Jack of Diamonds, the very first one I predicted at the beginning of the trick. The way I did it was something called a Hindu force. Now, to do that, I need to get this card on the bottom of the deck. I think this is going to look good. So first I said, let's mix up the cards again. Gives me a good reason to move this Jack of Diamonds, which I'm going to be forcing them, to the bottom of the deck. So I go like this, give them a quick shuffle, and I say, in fact, I'll just keep shuffling until you tell me to stop. And I'm just doing that slip cut again. I'm keeping the Jack of Diamonds down there by holding it with these fingers. I'm doing this. And you tell me when to stop shuffling the cards, okay? And I'm just holding on to that. All right, so once they stop me, I'm ready for what's called the Hindu force, which has the force card on the bottom. And I'm going to do the Hindu force. Let me give you a couple of tips on the Hindu force, because you probably know this. The wrong way to do this is to go like this. Do you see what I'm doing? And I've made this mistake before too. I'm pulling the cards too far apart from each other. It's better when you do the Hindu force to keep the cards close together like this. It's more confusing because it's actually a very subtle trick. We're going to just show them the bottom card. So it's more confusing if you go like this and you put the card on top of each other like this when they say stop and you show them the card they chose. It just looks better. Just a little tip there, a little technique. So anyway, I'm going to force this card. So I'm going to say you say stop. This time when you say stop, that will be the card you chose. Another little magician's choice thing. Do you want the top or the bottom? Okay, I love that little addition too. If they say top, show them the top packet because that's the card. If they say bottom, show them the bottom of the packet because that's their card. Another little tricky psychological thing. Anyway, either way, we have forced this card on them. You can take it right off the bottom, put it there, put everything away so we're just left with just the things that matter, okay? They're not going to know which one of these was which because they're in a wine glass and they're mixed up, but they've chosen two cards. I like to show the predictions first. Say, let's see what we've got here. I wrote down two things. I wrote down a 10 of spades. I wrote down a Jack of Diamonds. You happen to choose those very same cards. Okay? That's really easy to do when you've got a marked deck, which is a shameless plug because you can get marked decks at trapdoormagic.com just for $10, good ones. While they're in stock, go check it out. But even if you don't, and you can use any marked deck, you don't have to use mine. But even if you don't use a marked deck, there is a way to do this. I won't go into it now. If you don't want to do that, you can still use the one-ahead method by using a key card or any other way, any other method of getting a card to somebody. You could use more forcing if you want to, a key card, like I said, or whatever you want to do. The great thing about the marked cards is you're never looking at the faces the whole time. You're not looking at any faces, and you're still making a prediction before anything happens. That's the beauty of a marked deck. And so if you like doing tricks with marked cards, this is one to do. So inspired by Al Baker, twisted around a little bit, made better for a marked deck. That's a one-ahead method, and it works great. One-ahead prediction. Enjoy that.